say, because you're like, are you a part of this or not? You don't want to record every conversation. You don't want to not believe that people are good. But I'm like, being in that situation and going through something like that and having, like I said, something have your back, and you go back on your word. I'm sitting here like, no, I can't. My word is my bond. I always say what I'm going to do. I don't go back on my word. And I swear, like the last times I was like almost praying for forgiveness because I'm sitting here like, yo, they're not going to stop. I got to do this. I got to show what's being done. They're not going to stop. Like, you don't understand. Like, I got back in school. I'm sitting in my class. I'm sitting here walking to school. I'm sitting here trying to like figure out how I'm going to get to school with no money. I got my little halfway metro card. Like, I got my books. I'm back in Chinese classes. You know, it's super hard and I can't keep up. I'm like, because they got other people that's just like whizzing. And you got, even in my class, bro, in my class, you got somebody that, like yesterday, when I talked to that girl, I was like, what do I got to offer her? I was like, what the hell do I got to offer this girl? You know what I mean? That's like studying and that's going back to school. Like, that's the fucked up part. And I keep thinking about the opportunities, and I'm like, bro, I didn't fuck those up. I dropped. They're like, oh, you didn't do enough with your packet tracing. You don't understand. I can only take in so much information before my brain is like, it's like studying too much. While everything is going on, I have to stop. I have to say, pause. I have to say, I cannot take any more information. That jump hurt so much. But it's like you keep, it's like a push. It's like a, it's like a push. It's like a, you can do it. I'm sitting here going back on my word. And I'm like, my word, I don't like that. I like doing things the right way. I don't like doing things the wrong way. If somebody asks for something, I bring it. If somebody says something, I say. If I don't know, I don't say. But I said right there, and I was like, wow, something did all of this. When everybody else was kind of like laughing, doing stuff behind my back, talking about, oh, we blaming this person, that person blaming that person. I'm sitting here like somebody has the time or the sympathy, empathy, whatever word you fit the sentence, and sit there and be like, yo, don't do that. Don't do that. What's wrong with you? Like, I'm sitting here doing detriment to my body after I bring it up. And something's like, what are you doing? Don't smoke that. Don't drink that. Buy your food. Use your, you know what I mean? Like, use your little NutriBullet. Like, make your shake. Like, that's good. I bet that's. And I'm thinking like, wow. Somebody has enough thought or compassion to bypass all that. Like, he's not even worried about hooking up or meeting or doing this. Right now, he's focused on school, saving kid. I was like, because if I gotta be in this world, I'm not gonna be in this world alone. I was, like, I'm gonna, um, I was like, I'm gonna name my kid Justice. I was like, fuck that, because they were wrong, and I shouldn't even let that have gotten that far. I'm gonna name my kid Justice. I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I'm gonna make enough or do enough or put that much effort. I was even thinking like, I keep wearing 3 or 4 outfits for him. I was like, I kept telling myself, it's like, you stupid Joseph. Like, you gonna say this money, you're gonna have life. I was like, no, I'm not, because I'll have something in this world that's mine that I love, and that'll be my gift. I was like, if I can't change things on an astronomical level, at least I can change it like that, like give something to somebody, to the world, where I'm like, that kid right there has everything in him that I did, plus some. Like, if I was to get enough for the Hudson Hotel to know like 3 or 4 languages, guess what? My son's gonna know 5. And if my son, or if I wasn't good enough for a female, guess what? My son gonna date like 20 of them. Like he gonna have his pick. Like, you gotta be good enough for my child, and my child is gonna know that. Like, don't settle. Or she don't want to act right. She don't love you like you love her. It's okay. And I thought the world isn't gonna love you like that. Back your stuff up. Come back. If you gotta regroup, regroup. If you set it up where you don't, you don't. You just know you gotta go. You gotta take care of your kid by yourself. Handle your business. That's why everybody run around here talking about racial hangups and this and racial hangups and that. I'm like, bro, like, I don't think like that. I was like, I know what I've been told, and I've been told what I know, and that's what I speak on, and that's point blank, period. Like, I've been in 40 relationships where people have told me things. You don't take everything that I may think or say and apply it in different areas and then blame me for it if it does or doesn't work. That's what I've been told. That's what I know. That's what somebody else should know from their experiences. That's what you do a combination of, or you figure out the cause. Like, you don't sit there and blame X, Y, and Z, or oh, you thought this or you thought that. I'm like, with all the stuff going on, I'm still trying to turn the other cheek and take the high road again. I thought about when I went to Central Park. I'm like, what was I doing taking the high road? I said, all that stuff happened, and that stuff happened. I don't know, like, it's that, I don't even think about it. I just remember cleaning up and getting that place situated by myself. By myself. And somebody be like, oh, look at him. Like, he got the whole thing out by himself. Like, yeah, like dragging. And then when I left, it was like, you know what? It happened. That happened. I'm not going to go X, Y, and Z. I'm not going to say, I mean, I'm mad and it hurt. And I think somebody should look into it. But I'm not going to dwell. Like, I got back in school, everything's straight, started doing credit again. And it's like, you keep going in this repetitive circle until you have to say stop. Like, you literally have to say, I need to stop, because something is not right to where people allow somebody to keep going in that circle and just kind of like adding to it. And I'm like, It makes no sense because my goals versus your goals, they might be the same, but I'm like, damn, you don't stop me much. I'm like those lines that I studied, the people, oh, line up. So y'all line up, but I'm like, I'm still in the back of the line. So how am I acting like I'm any better than anybody else? I don't go and try to hop a line. I don't go and do this. I don't go and do that. I wait myself in the line. Like, I get my little haircut. Oh, I look good. Got my little. I started realizing somebody, oh, he looks better with. And I'm like sitting there like, something is still like, wow, like, keep going, keep going. But I'm like tired. I was like, that's messed up that you have to keep and I have to keep going to people. Can you check in this? Can you make this stop? Can you do this, that? Can you do this? Can you investigate this? Can you look into that? Can you go over here? Can you look at that? And then I'm like, when I went to, that's why I complained to the Department of Justice. Even when I went to the FBI, I'm like sitting there talking to them, like, bro, y'all can go see what's going on around whatchamacallit. And as I stand there, pissed. So I'm sitting here like, clearly I'm not this guy, right? That somebody appears to be trying to make me out to be. I'm pissed because I'm like, all the other stuff should stop. And I'm sitting here like pissed as heck. I mean, I wanted to fight one of them. Because I'm like, there is a problem. Like, there's something going on to where X, Y, and Z keeps centering or coming around me and people keep allowing it. I'm like, whatchamacallit is there half the time. You got all in departments. And it's like all these excuses keep pouring. Oh, it's COVID. That's why it's taking so long. And I'm like, but you don't realize what I'm trying to tell you. I don't want to go down that road. But I'm like, as I sit here, you got all this stuff raising uncertainties. You got people stealing. You got people doing this. You got people breaking the mailbox. You got people da da da. You got people that lost my apartment. You got all of this stuff, and I'm like, what? And I'm the one sitting up here like, yo, can we make sure the back door is open? When I first got there, can we make sure the door is locked so people can't come in? So guess what they did? Fixed the door. Yo, there's graffiti all in the stairwell, calling and complaining. And it just so happened every time I do that, it's like, boom, it's done. So I'm like, why? Like that back door been swinging open. It was never locked. And I was like, bro, that can keep people from coming in. I even did the key tag thing. I started complaining about the key tag. I was like, why don't we use the key tag? Before I lost mine, of course. So I'm like, actually, no, I think I had it, but it was in the back of the drawer. But I'm like, key tags. Shouldn't you have like key tags so people won't come in and out the building? Shouldn't the door work? I'm like, dang, like, here you gotta sign a book. So at least you know who come and who don't. So outside you really can't control as much. That's why you have people to control it. But I'm like, I'm sitting here trying every which way to do the right thing, and I'm sitting back like, what are y'all giving me, bro? And then I'm not even mad at. Well, I was mad. I was disappointed. And some of the people in the past, I'm like, I believe y'all had to have known how the psychological stuff was going on in my life But I wasn't even focused on that. Like I wasn't focused on going back and whooping ass or going back and fighting. I was just like, you know what? You got me. Like you got one over on me. Wow. Like I didn't realize it. So you know what I need to do? First, I need to try to get my life straight. But then all of a sudden, that's what hurt. I was like, why would? And if anything, wouldn't you have made money together? Because I'm thinking like, and I even thought about that. I was like, actually, that's not a bad idea for this, that, and the third. But and I was like, anything to get to that point. So I was like, hey, shit, you just have to know your daddy was out. I was like, you know what I mean? Like, and we might have to move to Nebraska, to North Dakota or something. And like, just change names, find somebody else that don't know my past. It might come up later on in your life, but by the time you get at that age, ain't nobody gonna care. Be president of the world. Yeah, your daddy was out. Be like, well, I'm president now. You know what I mean? Or your daddy was da 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 da. I was thinking to myself, like, I would do anything to get to the point to where I could have a kid and a comfortable safety net. Like, that's not right. And somebody's sitting here knowing this. So I'm already off of this other stuff. I'm sitting here like, and then you sit here and you act like we're friends. Some people. I'm like, I remember watching, like, what's the baseball? Oh my God, the baseball games. Like, get it. I was like, that took me all the way back to my childhood. Oh my God, why are y'all riding the horse? Jesus. Like, they ride the horse, my baby. There you go. But why would somebody be that? Jesus, what's going on outside? It's feel like Armageddon. But yeah, that's weird. That is weird. But it's like, oh, like you're acting like somebody was so perfect, so clean, so reckless, so good at what they thought, good at what they think. Da, 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 da. Oh my gosh, you buzz this thing? Because I'm like, wow, it's still loud. What's wrong? I can't make myself think right now. We're going to be like, yo, get off the horn.